Welcome back. You're listening to Empowered Living, Life, the Truth, and Being Free. I'm your host, Steve Maraboli. For more information about A Better Today, our speeches, programs, charities, the event schedule, or anything else you want to know, you can check out abettertoday.com or stevemaraboli.com. Also, don't forget, we're coming up on our 2-year anniversary here, but every single show we have ever done is available free for download at empoweredlivingradio.com. You could also get it on iTunes. I happen to know that we are the most downloaded podcast on iTunes, which is pretty impressive. So again, thank you. And those are also free downloads. We have our own iTunes page. It's pretty cool. So check it out, empoweredlivingradio.com for all that information. We are speaking with the brilliant Byron Katie. She has been bringing the work to millions of people around the world for more than 20 years. She's an internationally best-selling author. Her newest book, Who Would You Be Without Your Story? Dialogues with Byron Katie, will be released on October 15th, 2008. Her website is thework.com. Folks, keep the feedback coming. We're making this mostly a feedback show today, so make sure that you keep the feedback coming. Katie, I'm going to just continue with the feedback. We've only have half a show left, so I know that the computer system's going crazy, so I want to get to as many as possible.
Good.
Let's go with our next-door neighbors here, Newark, New Jersey. Ken Tripoli, thank you so much for having this guest on. The process seems independent of religion or spiritual beliefs. Is that correct?
Well, it's 4 questions and a turnaround, and it leaves everyone to their own wisdom, to their own inner well-being. And every time someone does the work, they come out as a kinder human being, as a more intelligent human being. And I equate those 2 words, intelligence and kindness and goodness and God. That's it.
And for my own thing, Ken, it's been recognizing truth. First of all, it's a gut check. When you look at your own truth, sometimes it's not dressed for the occasion, and it's not the prettiest thing sometimes. But what I have found, Katie, something you said earlier reminded me of this. You said something like God's will is important.
Well, God's will is my will.
Yeah.
And until I understood that, I had a lot of suffering going on. It's like everything I have is what I want. How do I know that that's all I need? That's what I've got, and it's not all I need. I can't count what I've got if I'm homeless, standing in one position. Can I count the leaves on a tree?
It's amazing because I find that once you do think this way, once you do live the work or live in a way that filters your truth and filters your thoughts like this, it's actually, Katie, for me, the greatest show of faith. To know that, something you said, I don't know if you said it on a show or you were here in New York when we met and I saw you speak it, and you said, I'm standing doing the dishes, and you know how I know it was God's will for me to be doing the dishes? Because I'm standing here doing the dishes.
That's it.
And
That's it.
To me, that's the greatest show of faith, because if we're speaking about truth, you're actually telling people to let go of things that they weren't in charge of anyway.
Yeah. Only the mind would say that that the world needs to change in this moment, and it beyond what the mind can say. In reality, it is what it is, and we have the power to make the change from right here, right now. But the way minds work is they live in the past, and they live out of guilt and shame and would-have and could-haves, and then that's what they project as a future, so our future doesn't look that bright. But if we, eventually just come to see that I have what I want. And if we had more than that, it would be out of rhythm with the universe. If we had less than that, we'd be out of rhythm with the universe. It is what it is, and there's nothing out of order. That's not possible. It's just not possible. It's the way the mind sees it, and it's what the mind is believing about the world that needs a little work. The world is running perfectly.
The work really is a masterpiece in showcasing the power of simplicity. I'll say something like, when we're talking about spirituality on this show, and I'm big on simplicity, obviously, And I always say, well, we always heard, I want to grow spiritually, but the truth is you shrink spiritual. You don't grow spiritual. You shrink spiritual because you cut away all the needless stuff and you go back to your core truth, and you actually shrink spiritual, not grow it. But the work is a showcase for that power of simplicity. And you're right, no matter what, this is why it must be so attractive to people who are Christians or Jewish or Islamic or whatever it is, that they're agnostic, completely, whatever it is 4 questions and a turnaround. Simple but true, and it is a gut check, folks, and it's a powerful one. I love it.
Yeah, and it doesn't give advice, and it doesn't teach, and it doesn't preach. It leaves it up to each of us individually to see what's in our heart, and then when we see that, we just naturally live out of it. It's like being done rather than me doing.
Let me see. Did I see Portugal here? I did see Portugal. Natalia Puente, Lisbon, Portugal. I very much like this show. Is there a place I can learn the work to teach here for the people of my country?
Oh, that's so dear. That's so dear. Yes, you can go to thework.com, and everything is right there. We have, Steve did a wonderful list of what we have there. We have, you can have it all, and at no charge. And then there are events that I offer that where we do charge, and I have a 9-day school for the work, and then I have the Institute for the Work, where we train teachers, or you can just get it from the website. I put it all out there free, and so anyone can pass it on. And Loving What Is the text for the work, and it's written in several languages, and you can see that on our site also. And so you can start at no charge, and you can go all the way up if you think it's your life work to be a part of the Institute for the Work. And we're turning out brilliant teachers all over the world.
Katie, while you were saying that, Loving What Is an amazing book for those of you listening. And also, I think your name was Natalia in Portugal. The website, thework.com, it's very extensive as far as getting involved in the work. I mean, there's just, you could be simply just download something, print out a sheet, or just read the site, or you could be very involved in the process. It's a beautiful community of people who are really dedicated to getting this out there and to helping as many people. I know that you could become like a facilitator, or you could just become familiar with yourself, Natalia, and work it on yourself and expand that way. But there's so many ways that you can't really even mention about the website, because it's very extensive, well laid out, and very user-friendly website. It's thework.com. Katie, we at A Better Today have we recently undertook, I was invited to speak at a local prison to give one of my programs, and I was shocked at what the idea I had about what inmates were like, and then turns out like what they were actually like. And
they're not. They're like anyone calling in.
It was
calling
me.
into your radio station.
Yeah, I was talking to me. It was just this person did something stupid, and they're standing there, but they were me. They were ambitious, and they were spiritual, and they had ideas, and there's some of them are reading some very penetrating books, and they have so many ideas. So I had a tour of their facility, of their schools. And I'm going back because I get to be principal for a day next month. And I decided that as a company, we do a bunch of charity stuff, and one of the things we do is adopt a library program. And because their library, just for me, once I saw that they were just like me and then saw their library, I said, this is no good. So we adopted the library, and we're putting in tons of books, and I just want to let you know that Loving What Is definitely going to be a book that we're going to throw into these libraries, because it's definitely something that they should be reading. So again, thank you.
Oh, I love that. I've had a program running in San Quentin for several years, and oh my goodness.
Oh, so you know exactly what I'm saying, then. Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh my goodness, I just adore working in prisons, because, as you say, that's me. I just didn't get caught.
That's what I'm saying.